sky. Well, you cry out and you don't know why. Come on now, let your feet fly. Come on now, let's go for a ride. Come on now, let your feet fly. Oh, let it fly. Come on.
We're live.
Hey everybody.
Good morning, everybody. This is the first morning one we've done. You know why we're doing that is because we're calling a friend of ours, and she lives on the East Coast of USA. And Whitney is actually a freelance interviewer kind of thing, you know, slash reporter actually for Good Morning America and tons of those shows that you've seen, Access Hollywood, all that kind of stuff she's done. Gordon Ramsay, she's interviewed. I think Paul Stanley from Kiss. I think Ron Woods. All kinds of important people. So
Here we go. We're gonna call. We've never done it on the telephone.
We're gonna do it on the telephone.
We've never done it in the morning before.
Yeah, never in the morning. That's for sure.
I'm not sure we've ever done it sober.
Yes, I don't think so. So we're gonna call her.
You watching this, Bonnie?
Yeah.
I hope so.
There you go.
She knows what I look like in the morning, I guess, already. All right, let's see how she goes. Let's see how she rolls out, boys.
Hello, Whitney. It's Joe and Ash. How you doing?
Hi, I'm doing well. How are you?
We're doing really well. We're live right now, and we're glad to call you and see. I haven't talked to you for a while. See what the heck's happening on your side of the coast.
I like that. I know. We gotta get you guys out here to the East Coast.
Yes.
That would be awesome.
Yeah. So what's happening with you guys? How's things going over there? What's happening for Christmas? There must be lots going on at this time of year.
Oh yeah. Well, you know, we're Atlantic City based. I mean, we're in the tri-state area, so you can go to Philly, you can go to New York, you can also obviously go to Atlantic City here in New Jersey at the Jersey Shore. But there's so much. I mean, there's something everywhere. Most of the properties are, you know, very festive and holiday themed, and some of them even have pop-up bars that you can go to and check out the festivities there.
Wow.
And then of course there's celebrities that come to town. But the closer you get to the holidays, the less amount of celebrities, because everybody's at their own party. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, right.
Company parties, the house parties, family parties. So there's always something to do. There's a lot going on.
We're really hoping no one's going to any freak-offs this season.
Oh boy, yeah, I hope not. Oh my God. That actually made me think of an interesting story, but I guess I can't really talk about that.
Oh, you can. You absolutely can.
Oh man. But yeah, so we typically have, you know, different, and especially this time of year too, a lot of the casinos have holiday shows, like you can go to Christmas in concert at Borgata, and that's something that goes on until December 24th, so it doesn't have to be something this weekend, it could be multiple days. There's also, like, John Legend will be in town this weekend, which is really cool, and also Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Wow.
And, and Reno Winery, which is like a really beautiful space that's kind of located in the middle of the woods. It's so amazing there, and they're having, not only do they have like breakfast with Santa, you can stories with Santa, and then they're having something cool this weekend called a reindeer run, and it's a reindeer run 5K, and then for kids it's a 1 mile fun run. To me, there's nothing fun about that, but you know, people love to run, so good for them.
I think we
like, good for you.
also suggest you don't bring grandma.
Yeah.
Do not bring grandma to the reindeer run. We've heard the song. We know how it ends.
And I have a friend. His name is Joe Holiday. He's a magician, and he does this thing called the Comedy Hour every Saturday at 3 and 7 p.m. And it's cool because you can get tickets. It's family friendly. Because when people think Atlantic City, they think, oh, casinos, nightlife, dining, but there's also family things to do too. And there's a huge water park that opened at Showboat. It's called the Island Water Park, so that's really fun to do with family. And of course, there's Steel Pier, and just down the road is Lucy the Elephant. Like there's a lot to do, for sure.
Holy smoke! There's tons of stuff going on. And so what's happening? And are you still? Where are you living again yourself? You're in Jersey.
So I live in in New Jersey. I live in a city called Galloway Township.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think of a landmark that you might. It's actually the largest municipality in terms of land in the whole state, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
But it's very diverse here. Like we have, like a little, a lot of some shops and things. But then there's also just a lot of just land and country. We also have a lot of pine land. It's also where the Jersey Devil is supposedly from. Which was the Leeds family, and we live basically off of Jimmy Leeds Road. So.
Oh, wow.
That's funny.
So that's kind of a cool fact.
Yeah, that's a very cool fact, yeah. Especially for people here in Vancouver, because they're, Canadians are super hockey fans, right?
And super Springsteen fans.
Oh yeah. He was just here.
Oh, good.
Yeah, Bruce was just here, actually. He was just here about a month and a half ago.
He was not on the podcast.
He wasn't on the podcast, no.
You should have got him on. I can't believe it.
You know what, though?
Does he know who you are?
No, he doesn't know me personally.
That's what we should have said. Do you know who we are? The boss?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, he's that's funny. Actually, what's a real funny story is about that. There was these two young firemen that live on Vancouver Island, and they won tickets to see Bruce here in Vancouver, about 25 years ago, 30 years ago. And they ended up getting backstage, getting pictures taken, a guitar and a guitar pick, and all kinds of stuff he gave them. And so they were on the news, and they were coming back after about 25 years. They were coming back to go to a show there, and they brought their signs and everything, and they were up front again. So now they were hoping that they could get backstage again and meet him again, right? So. It was interesting. It was an interesting story. These guys now, they're not kids anymore, but they're firemen. They work at both the same fire hall too, right? So they were like huge Bruce Springsteen fans, like huge. Yeah, and I heard the show once again was like just awesome. Like people, like the musicians even in the city just go, this guy is amazing. Even if you don't. You're not a fan of his music, but when they go to the show, they go, wow, this guy is just incredible.
3 hours.
3 hours.
Just freak out.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, some people are just excellent performers. I mean, you can go to a show, but you want to see a performance. You want to see an entertainer. Entertaining. So, and every show is different, but when you have that magic happen, it's just like, wow, it doesn't matter if you like the person or not. When it's entertaining, that really makes a big difference.
Yeah, well, I went and saw Joe 2 nights ago, and I witnessed that exact thing. So there you go. That's absolutely true too.
Yeah, there's lots of stuff going on here too in Vancouver around this time of year too. But so we got this other. This is a brand new podcast, right? Been doing it for about what 3 or 4 months, Ash?
Something like that.
Yeah. So the people that are watching, we're getting quite a few people watching this one. So we're wondering, give us some insight, like some of the people you interview, because you have your podcast too, right? Over the years.
Oh yeah. Well, I have a platform. I'm an entertainment reporter, content creator.
Yes.
I've interviewed so many celebrities.
Paul Stanley.
It's crazy. Paul Stanley. Yeah, he's really cool. He was super cool. I actually had the opportunity to possibly interview him again.
Huh? And
then something happened. It didn't work out, and I was kind of bummed because I was excited to talk with him again.
Yeah.
There's so many great people because being based out of Atlantic City, there's artists that come to town, and then there's like smaller things like the Wentworth Gallery and Hard Rock. They will have different people come and they're artists also, so they promote their art, and then I can talk with them there. Most of the celebrities are super friendly, super nice. Sometimes the handlers are not so nice. But that's to be expected. It's pretty cool to be able to do that. But I will say that once the whole world shut down when COVID happened and the whole pandemic, everything pretty much changed.
Right.
So the interview processes have changed a lot. I mean, now it's a little bit better, but now people are starting to feel more comfortable with doing interviews through Zoom and online, and it doesn't always have to be in person. Which
or on the phone.
But I was going to say that, it's what I think we should do more of is almost, and this might sound weird, but interviewing people after the fact. Like, most people do interviews to help promote a show, but I always want to know, what...
How'd that go, right?
Like about that show? What did they like about being in that city?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
That is cool.
What did they find out that they didn't know
That's
about
smart.
before? Like,
That's
did
smart.
they have a fun food from a local restaurant that they just found out about? Like, I would love to like chat with them after. It's always so hard to do that.
Yeah, because there was after stories. Funny, like you say that. When I used to do a lot of festivals for a while there, I remember we once when we opened up for Edgar Winters out at this festival out in the valley where they had a lot of big farms and stuff. So there's this festival. So we played it, and Edgar Winters didn't. He wouldn't go on stage, right? You know, we're wondering, well, what's going on, because we just finished opening up for him, and it was really good. But so what happened was on his rider he had to have fried chicken and mashed potatoes and veggies and whole 9 yards, right?
Oh my God! Yeah.
And and he didn't know, and the promoter didn't bring that for him. So he says, well, I'm not going on until I have my food, right? And so they had to go to the festival. People had to go Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And they bought a big thing of mashed potatoes and and chicken and veggies for him and stuff. And yeah, he went on. It was a great show. But that would be good to interview and see what the heck happened, right?
As an example, we just had Taylor Swift just ended the Eras tour here last weekend.
Oh yeah, it was a lot big.
Yeah.
160,000 people over the course of a weekend. And it would be nice to see how she felt about that.
Yeah, and a lot of people too from all over the globe too.
Yeah.
Right. I was surprised. Like I thought they'd just be here in Canada, but no. And some, of course, because we're like a border town anyway. So a lot of people coming up from Washington State. But there was a lot of people from Brazil and Australia and England coming here. Right. It was wild. Right.
They had to change all the transit. They shut down the roads.
Yeah, because it's sold out. I mean, I've had people say to me, I don't even care where she's performing. If you can help me find a ticket for my daughter, I'll go wherever.
Yeah.
People are crazy.
I know.
Somebody here, Whitney, somebody here paid $100,000 for a ticket.
Stop. I mean, come on.
Dude.
It's too much.
It's
But-
way too.
It's a bit too much.
It's insane, isn't it? I mean,
It's just, I don't even get it. I mean, I don't want any Swifties coming after me, but, come on.
you think?
If you could bring the Ramones back from the dead, I'd think about it. But $100,000 is a lot of money.
Last week that sings the Ramones, and he performed this past weekend. It's pretty funny you just said that.
Oh wow, interesting. That's interesting. Yeah, and so you also a person that you told me you interviewed too was Gordon Ramsay, right?
Oh yeah.
Because Gordon he just opened up a couple restaurants here in Vancouver at the casinos too.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
No, he's really nice. He puts on the persona to go yelling at people and
Yeah, we've heard that story too. That's all just a put on. All that being a jerk is just a put on.
Yeah, it's a personality. Like that's like
Yeah.
TV. But I've interviewed him many times. Although he did yell at me once, and I was all happy about it.
Yeah, right.
She yelled at me. I was so happy because I interviewed him he was at the casino opening a restaurant, and I just did an interview. I was very happy, and I went back to the room with my husband to edit, and because my husband was helping me out, he's the camera guy, but my husband is really an eye doctor, so I had him help me with the camera, so it wasn't as good. But he forgot to plug the one cord in, so there was no audio. So
beautiful.
After our interview, but there was no sound, and I looked at my husband. I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna have to go back down. And either I'm just not going to say anything and just say there was a problem, or should I just, while he's here, just still try to get another interview? So I figured, he's still here, let me just go try to get another interview. So I went back, and I was like, Gordon, and he's like, Whitney, we just did an interview, and he did this whole yelling thing at me, but it was funny, and then he obliged and gave me another interview. So
There it is. That's every story I've heard about that guy. Is that he's a sweetheart.
Yeah, that's what I heard. And the food is supposed to be really good too at these restaurants.
Yeah, did he feed you, Whitney?
Oh yeah, of course. That's all. Listen, I just was talking to my girlfriend today. I'm like, oh my God, I already gained 20 pounds. I feel like it happened overnight. I feel like I woke up and I was like, wow, nothing fits.
Sure. Me and Joe are bulking up for winter ourselves.
It's so And I was gonna go back to Taylor Swift. There's actually this Airbnb here. It made national news. It's like it's an homage to Taylor. Like it's really cool. Like it's an Airbnb that's all Taylor Swifted out. So all the rooms are themed with Taylor Swift songs and her things that she does, and it's pretty cool. And it's right near where I live.
Wow, that's smart too, right? That's smart marketing, really smart marketing. Because her marketing thing is just huge, right? I mean, I don't think I've seen anything bigger than that. I think in music, I mean, one time I watched, what was it, 5 years ago, so I saw Guns N' Roses come here, and I've seen them a couple of times, but I went and saw them the last time, and I was saying to my manager in Los Angeles, I said to him, I went to the show the other week, Jay. And he says, did you like it? I says, it was great. And I said, I can't believe how many people were wearing T-shirts, like Guns N' Roses T-shirts.
Oh, yeah.
I swear, Whitney, 60,000 people, at least a good 50,000 were wearing T-shirts. I was just like floored. I was floored. And he says, their marketing merch thing is like gigantic. It's gigantic. I says, they just make us clean right up.
I remember reading a thing. It was before like streaming and Napster and all that stuff, where The Cure made way more money on T-shirts than records, which blew my mind, but made sense too.
Yeah.
That's funny.
I know.
I have a funny story. I don't know if my husband will be happy I told it, but my husband went to a Metallica concert and everybody was wearing like T-shirts. Like, so he wanted to go in his like Metallica shirt.
Yeah.
But he's a doctor. He's an eye doctor, so he goes to this Metallica concert, and he didn't have a Metallica T-shirt, but I had just bought him. This is so embarrassing. I had just bought him a T-shirt that said "I heart side boob," and so he wore it to the concert, and then he ended up bumping into patients, and it was like so embarrassing. And I was like, I'm so sorry. You should have just bought a T-shirt while you were there, and then nobody would hear it now.
I think as much as we all love Metallica, we all love Sidebird as well. Yeah.
Poor guy. It was really
Poor
funny.
guy. That's funny, Whitney. So what else you got going on? What's coming up for you in interviews and stuff? What's next for you?
I know. I've actually been doing a lot of content creation for small businesses.
Oh, cool.
So I help promote businesses that, when you want to hire a company to do social media, it's expensive. And a lot of these small businesses just can't afford it, especially if it's on a monthly basis.
Yeah.
So I kind of created this little niche for myself where I have a pretty big sphere of influence here in the Jersey Shore, Philadelphia, and so I work on a case-by-case basis with businesses, and I just help create content, and then we collaborate on it. And it's good because then I have content, they have content, I make a little bit of money, they're not out a lot of money, and it's just simple.
Wow.
I don't really do social media management because it's just a lot of work, but in terms of it's tedious, every day you have to post something. I do more unique videos and pictures and things. I'll go and do the experience and then promote it that way and make a really nice video for people. And then they're very happy because they get this exposure. And then, for instance, I go on Fox 29 a lot, but then people are always like, oh, well, can you get me on? Can you do this? And I always say no because I never overpromise and underdeliver because I hate when people do that. And you guys probably know this too. You could pitch 1 million people to help cover an event or do something. It doesn't mean they're going to do it.
Yeah.
You can't force these news places to do that. And unfortunately for us here in Atlantic City, we don't have any news. Our news is based out of Philadelphia, so we have to rely on Philadelphia to promote us. And basically, there's always something happening in Philly to where anything that happens here pretty much gets bumped, unless it's a murder or something crazy in the casino market.
Yeah.
But otherwise, if it's just normal news, we
Wow.
don't have anybody.
That's interesting.
Yeah, we got we got a bunch of American stations here, but we got New York City and Chicago.
Yeah.
So I like to watch those newses.
Detroit, I get Detroit too,
Oh,
and I get LA. I get KLT. Yeah, KLTL. And KTLA is really interesting
Because car chases.
Because car chases.
It's awesome.
Oh my God, that's funny. funny.
It-
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I mean, we
No,
get.
and I had a friend, he was a comedian, and now he's on the Weather Channel. His name's Ward Anderson. He lives in Canada.
Oh, okay.
Now looking at lately in Toronto. I don't know if
Okay,
you know
yeah, Toronto would.
Anderson.
Yeah, Toronto is a huge market. It's like, it's like you're New York, right, for Canada, right? Toronto is like a big city.
It's like half the population in Canada.
Yeah, it's like half the population. Yeah. Because Ash comes from Niagara Falls, right? Originally, yeah, he comes from Niagara Falls. So he's
Oh.
yeah, and it's that, which is pretty close to where you guys all are, right? It's on that east side, right? So yeah.
This side, yeah.
Yeah.
I've never been to Canada. You know what?
You gotta get your husband and come to Vancouver.
Come
You
and
guys-
hang out, man.
Yeah, you guys would like it, Whitney. It's really nice here. We got a lot of mountains, like beautiful mountains close by, right? You could, like in 35, 40 minutes, if you were a skier, you're there. It's that fast, right?
We're sitting in the barber shop right now looking at the ski hill. Like we're in downtown Vancouver looking at the ski hill right now.
Yeah, it's really nice, and there's a lot of water around. There's a lot of beaches. Everything's the city's really close. There's a lot of close stuff, for the city. It's a typical growing city, though. It's got its problems, right? There's a lot of issues going on too, right? But beside that, it's growing. It's got a lot of things going on. I mean, it's getting bigger and bigger. It's like,
Wow.
yeah,
You know what it is? It's the kids are leading the charge right now too.
Yeah. It's
Like all the kids are so deep into film and music and photography and painting. It's pretty awesome, man. Like
we interviewed Whitney. We interviewed a guy the other day, just before you, and he makes toys for a living. He makes toys. That's what he does. He makes.
That's cool. That's awesome.
It's really wild. And you know what? And
he's like the gnarliest elf I've ever seen in my life.
He looks like Rob Zombie.
He does.
And he makes these toys, Whitney, and they collaborate with people like in the U.S. Like he knows people like out your way. He knows people in the U.K. He knows Spain, Brazil, and they switch toys. They send ideas to each other and they switch toys. It's like this sort of niche that's starting to go on, and so we thought, well, this is really interesting. Let's talk to him about what he's doing. And like he'll sit there and he'll make a toy, and then somebody will want the toy online, and he'll trade. He'll get a toy from Brazil, right?
It's cool. It's like the early days of like thrash metal, like Metallica, thrash metal, and all that stuff. All that tape trading and stuff like that, but just geeked right out.
Yeah. It's interesting.
Yeah.
It's really interesting. It's like a little movement going on underneath the surface, right? It's kind of interesting.
That's kind of
I
the.
never heard of it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
We just Ash had him do at the barbershop here. He does art displays, right, for the artists, local artists. So yeah, he came in and put his stuff up, and then I said to Ash, let's interview him, right?
Oh yeah.
Let's interview this guy, because like, who knows what the heck he's going to be talking about. And you look at his toys and they are totally different. Like they're unique, right?
Toys, and he's got a band and he makes pierogies. Like it was pretty awesome, man. You would love it. You should get him on Entertainment Tonight.
That's so funny. It's one of those people you're like, we be friends. You're so cool.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's Bernie. You would absolutely. Bernie Whitney Bernie.
You would like talking to him. He's actually a very nice guy. He's super nice person. Very very smart, and kind of logical about stuff. He's really nice guy. And yeah, he makes pierogies, and they're supposed to be the wickedest pierogies.
They're the best pierogies I've ever had in my life.
They're really good, right? And he sells pierogies to the local restaurants, right?
That's so cool.
I know, it's yeah.
See here. This is what we're doing. Whitney. We're just planting seeds for you and your husband to come here and just do an overall view of Vancouver.
Yeah.
No, East Vancouver. We don't care about the rest of Vancouver, really. We only like one part.
Yeah.
We only like the Republic of East Vancouver. It's a free democracy.
Oh, cool. Okay. That's funny.
So what else is?
Coming up?
So what else you got coming up next, Whitney?
I know. I'm trying to think. Like I have so many things going on.
I bet you do.
right now.
I bet.
I've been working with the small businesses, doing the shore local.
Yeah.
And we just did, I worked with like Celebrity Boxing. We just had an event this past weekend, which was really cool. There weren't really any celebrities in it, but still, it's a lot of fun. And I also, for myself, I also started a business. Well, I've been doing it for a long time, but I kind of becoming busier now with staffing people for events and promotions.
Oh,
so
very
I have
cool.
like a roster of models, like male,
Wow.
female, mostly female.
That's
And then also like bartenders, servers. So when people have private events, like they'll contact
That's so
me
smart.
and I can help like staff it for them, and it's good because I'm helping to get people jobs.
And,
Yeah.
make it into a real, like a thing that people remember, right? Like those guys who flip the whatever liquor bottles, I assume, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, like the flair guys. I don't know. That's a good idea, though. I don't know if any of them do that. But the good thing about the bartenders, like I'm even learning. They're like, oh, we have our own bar kit. I'm like, who will have their own bar kit? But I guess bartenders. And then you can travel with your own stuff.
Yeah.
And then it's good. So,
Yeah.
And then you have the right knife and the right thing. So I'm like,
Yes.
good for that.
That is good. That's good.
Like Tom
that's
Cruise.
Yeah, that's smart. That's smart. That's way to go. That's good. That helps all the, like you said, gets jobs for people and helps everybody in the in the area too, right? That's really smart.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then people know because, like, for instance, over the summer, I had one of my girlfriends, she was having a family reunion at her home. And when you have a family reunion, you want to just be with your family. You don't want to be, like,
Yeah.
on the barbecue.
Yeah, dealing with it. Yeah, that's
So
smart.
it was cool because, like, I was able to have a bartender there, and they had their own, drinks and everything, but just my bartender helped facilitate the drinks,
Right,
And I
right.
had, like, one girl helping to clean up. So when people put their plate down of the food and it's just random garbage everywhere, now that's getting cleaned up. So the host of the party doesn't have to do all that. It just makes life easier for people. And she really loved it. And then, like, I had another guy who had almost like a political event at his home, and he had like a greeter at each door to make sure people knew where to go and what to do. But pretty girls.
Yeah.
So it was just like really nice to just. It's nice to be able to get people gigs, and then also the fact that people need the gigs, and it's affordable, it's not crazy, and it's fun for everybody.
Speaking of crazy, did you ever meet Snooki or The Situation?
Yeah. Well, I actually
Knew that was coming, Whitney.
I've interviewed Pauly D a million
Oh,
times.
Pauly D.
Yeah, right.
Pauly D. Yeah, he'd be interesting. Wow.
Yeah, he's very interesting. He's super cool. I have a lot of interviews with him. If you ever went to my go-to Whitney, like YouTube,
Yeah.
Instagram, like search it.
Yeah.
Interviews with him.
That's so cool.
Actually, if you send us all that stuff,
in the beginning.
if you send us all your links, we'll just link you to all your stuff to our stuff, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
One hand can
Well,
wash
if
the other,
you
man.
use YouTube go to Whitney, then and people could search within that, like Pauly D or any
I
celebrity.
get Ken to do that.
All the celebrity interviews. Actually, you know what? I have a link to my celebrity interview playlist, so I could send that to you.
Yeah. Great. That's great. That'd be great. Yeah. Well, want to thank
Is
you.
Paul Stanley on there?
Yeah, Paul Stanley.
Yes!
Got a lot of great people.
Good stuff.
All right. Well, I'm a super Kiss fanatic, so
There you go. I want to
I
thank.
want to meet Gene Simmons.
Yes.
That
Well, yeah. Well, Gene's wife used to live here in Vancouver, and so they have a place up in Whistler, the ski resort. So they're up here. He comes up here quite a bit actually, and one of the rehearsal places in Vancouver, in North Vancouver, on the other side of the bridge. There was a rehearsal place we used to go to, and I just missed Gene by about a half an hour because he had pulled up, and his daughter and his son had a little band, and they were they were playing at one of the casinos actually, and he pulled up in the car and got out of the car. He's by himself. Got out of the car, walked in the office, and said hello to my friend. Said, "Hey, my kids are here." He goes, "Yeah, Gene, come on in." And
Jeff met Gene.
Yeah. I met Gene too. I actually met Gene in Anaheim, California, at a bar called the Doll Hut, and the Doll Hut is this little bar, Whitney, about like the size of it's a garage. There's no stage, and you play on the floor, and there's a rope separating you from the people, and the bartender does sound.
Whoa.
But it's a celebrity. Who owns part of the bar was Pat Benatar.
Oh, nice.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So all the celebrities would go there, all the musician celebrities would go there, and all the big road crews in Los Angeles that did the big tour stuff with big bands would go there for drinks and eats after, like, in the evenings and stuff, and then local bands would play, and we played there quite a few times. And one time we rolled up and got out of our van, and as we got out of the van, Gene was there standing talking to somebody, and he looked over and he smiled and he says, "You guys are from Canada, Vancouver," because he could see our plates. And I go, "Yeah," and he said hello, and he says, "I'm going to listen to you guys for like about 20 minutes. I got to go." But he says, "I'm going to come in and listen to you." And he came in and listened to us, and he smiled and waved and said, "See you later," right? Yeah, he was actually really nice to me.
See, Whitney, there it is, man. If you and Mr. Sideboob come up to Vancouver, Joe and Jeff will make sure that you get an audience with Gene Simmons.
There you go. I don't know about that.
Maybe it'll happen.
Yeah,
Maybe.
You also interviewed Rick Allen from Def Leppard.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he's pretty cool.
Yeah, I bet. Eh? That's
yeah,
very.
My phone Stanley just came up under Wentworth Gallery. I wonder where I edited it. And you know who else? I was just going to tell you, there was somebody else who I just saw on my thing, and I'm like, that's really funny. It's funny to see some of the celebrity interviews over the years, but I don't even remember, because I've done so many.
I know, I bet.
I don't know. There's just so many good people.
That's cool. So, Whitney, I want to wish you and your husband a happy Christmas and New Year's, your family and stuff.
Thank you.
And we'll look forward to talking to you again, because we'll call you, like we said, we'll do it more often, because we like to know what's going on with you and what's going on back east.
Yeah, we get lost on that side of the world sometimes.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and you can always, like, on every week I do an entertainment update on the radio and I'm sure local news, so people can see what's happening at least here in Atlantic City. But yeah, anytime you want me to come on and talk about cool, fun things, I would love to.
Yeah.
And I hope you guys have a great holiday as well. And the person I was thinking of was Carol Baskin. Remember her?
Yeah.
From Tiger King?
Yeah.
It's funny how I met her randomly before Tiger King, and then when the Tiger King came on, I said, "Oh my God, I just met that woman," and I had the video, and then I posted it, and then TMZ picked it up, and there's like clips of my video and like all these different things now. It's like really funny. Anyway,
that's so cool.
See, just another lovely thing that the pandemic brought us, Tiger King.
Yeah, exactly. I know.
It was so good for so many reasons.
Great talking with you guys. I'll make sure to send you that link, and anytime you want to know what's happening at the Jersey Shore, you can just go to Whitney.
You got it, Whitney. Take care.
Thanks, Whitney.
Thanks, guys.
Bye. Happy holidays. Bye.
Don't see you too. Bye-bye.
What a sweetheart, eh?
That was awesome.
She's great.
All right, that was great.
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year,
We just
everybody.
did one on the telephone.